you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pat is here.
All right, everyone. How about that for those smooth transitions? I'm getting better. I'm getting better at this live stream game. I'm sorry, I have to toot my own horn when I can. But check it out. Oh, hold up here. We got a boom. We got the overlay, and we already got some AKA patterns, like ready to rock and roll. Big shout out to CG Metalsmith Phoenix Animation. This dude, everyone, take note, record this name. This guy over here, he does hot stuff. I love him. He's one of my boys. Thank you so much. And then we have the complete total excellence, my absolute boy, my brother from another time zone, from a multiverse brother, Itky5. What up, dude? So we're doing Grifter tonight. Look at the mess on my table. I just wanted to show this to everyone because look, we do a lot of food on my Instagram. I do a lot of live stream food conversations and reviews. Those are really more like hangout sessions. I sometimes I get a lot of people. It's a lot of fun. Hers flavor mix mystery. Just look at this stuff. 3 classic Hers flavors in one chip. Like, what are we doing here? So we got that. Earlier today, I did a. Well, it's a true flex unboxing. We unboxed a entire unopened box of the Jim Lee Impel 1992 X-Men trading card set. This is what I consider to be the second greatest trading card set of all time. I usually get Pete, what's the top greatest set? And my answer for that is the 1992 Marvel Masterpieces by Joe Jusko. But we got some sweet. We did get 4 of the 5 holograms here, so very successful. Very, very happy with that. So we're gonna move those to the side. So let me kind of show you guys a couple things. So we have Grifter here. Now, Wildstorm Wednesday, right? We do a lot of Jim Lee, which that's why we did the training card packs, because the Jim Lee connection. Jim Lee's really the connective tissue through Wildstorm. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight in where some of these streams are going, okay? So we got a lot of things here. My desk is just beyond full. So for Jim Lee, I kind of been wanting to get into the Jim Lee Heroes Reborn, like full stack, okay? Because I really feel like this is his top 5 work. The 6 issues he drew of this, incredible, fantastic, pun intended. The work of Brandon Chow here, absolute phenomenal, okay? So he gets a lot of flack. The second thread here is the Wells Portacio Iron Man, and this is one of my favorite Iron Men. We have updates now for the Jim Lee Alpha Flight, okay? We have much more of a stack here. So I'm documenting these from interior through the covers. So it's roughly issue 55 through 75, like, 2 years worth. And then we have the Jim Lee Punisher War Journal, missing 3 of these, issue 1, and the 2 Wolverine issues. But, like, we got a good stack here. The Jim Lee Savage Dragon. So that's upcoming, okay? And then we have Grifter over here. Who the hell is Grifter? Well, during our break booth vein, we already went over Grifter's, pretty much his very first crossover. His first crossover was Kindred, 2 Wildstorm characters. His first appearance is right here. So let's just go through an issue of WildCATS until we come across Cole Cash, our boy. This is also, is this newsstand? No. I have a newsstand edition of WildCATS #1 also. And you can see we're already to the trading card inserts. And we don't have any Cole Cash, but here he is. So he gets introduced. He's hunting down Voodoo. WildCATS #1 echoes a team building trend through X-Men, which is we're more introduced to the team through the recruitment of a new member, and that is most likely a female member. Now, we see this in X-Men, the animated cartoon, X-Men, multiple movies, okay? X-Men #1 with Anna Paquin. So it's a trope. It's a good trope, but we get Cole Cash here, and then bang, he puts the Grifter mask on, and kind of like history is made at that point. Now we'll see something similar of a pose from this. This becomes a iconic pose. It gets ripped off. Chap Yap kind of like borrows from it. We'll see that very soon. Very cool. So Grifter gains in popularity. Okay. So how does Wildstorm experiment with the character Grifter? Well, they do an intercompany crossover, but then they do this. This is Grifter one-shot, okay? Jim Lee cover. It really doesn't look like Jim Lee. I mean, this kind of almost looks like Ryan Benjamin. We have a nice Dane Norton back cover here. So we have a nice contrast here. Highly detailed, techno, lots of shading, lots of hair, right? Lots of wrinkles. The Wildstorm house style, the Jim Lee house style. Then we flip it. The Dane Norton style here is what Gen 13, Death Blow, to some degree, Backlash, and Stormwatch adapt. See, like Wildstorm turns into more of almost of a coloring book, open-ended illustration style, focused on coloring, less on line work to speed up their production. Okay, Gen 13 is also a victim of that. So this one shot again, Cole Cash like he gets introduced always as like a baller, always doing things that you want to be doing. So we're going to go over this eventually, but I love the end page here. One shot wasn't enough. Join Grifter monthly. So here's the funny thing. Wildstorm was somewhat progressive in the way how they looked and treated crossovers. Okay, so Grifter #1, the first monthly Grifter series, Barry Windsor Smith cover. Look, follow me here, people. Grifter 1, the boy finally gets his shot, right? You get your monthly. But he's chapter 5 in Wildstorm Rising. I think this is one of the biggest publishing mistakes that Wildstorm's ever embarked on. And we know that they're making this capital investment in the character. I mean, the attention that is paid to Grifter, the way how he ascends, and the way that he is used. Now, by this time, action figure, he's on dozens of trading cards. He's on Saturday morning cartoons, okay? And then he is used, right? We have the proof here, as a company spokesperson. So what really happens in this series? And this series here, which Steven Seagal, okay? He is, I'll say this. He's the best writer that Wildstorm ever had come through it. He later had really good runs with DC. I believe he did Sandman Mystery Theater. Fantastic book. His Majors work is phenomenal. But he brings things out of Grifter. But here's a goofy thing, people. Grifter kind of ends with issue 10. And then we have Grifter Volume 2. Like, They're abusing this guy. Grifter Volume 2. Ryan Benjamin, Stephen Grant, Mel Ruby. This is an upgrade. It's a step up. The quality is better. It's better all around. But see what I mean about like developing that open-ended style? They really lose their line work. They lose that cross hatching, and they really just become a production house. And then Grifter ends with issue 14. So 2 volumes, one shot, and you have a stack of crossovers. We can get rid of the Kindred. It's a very confusing time for Grifter. Grifter later in the DC New 52 would get a Scott Clark, Wildstorm alumni, Rob Liefeld, Image alumni upgrade. Now he's pretty much like he's been in a couple of their animated movies. Justice League Paradox, he's kind of used a little bit in the background. Kind of cool in that. Doesn't have the cool green duster trench coat anymore. He's mostly black and red, or he's black with the red mask. But we have Grifter in the mask here. So when I started this journey of these Wildstorm books, I had no idea this existed. And then this literally blew my fucking mind that it existed. We have 2 incredible covers with Kyle Hotz. Kyle Hotz came in really strong with Rune for Malibu. He's still in the game. He's still on social media. I really want to commission him for like a cover. But he draws like 2 of the best grifters in comic book history, like right here. We have Grifter She. Jim Lee cover, Billy Tucci cover. This was actually released as a hardcover. And I believe the hardcover was actually a like a signed edition too. Is very prestigious. But look at the opening page for this. What the fuck are we doing? Look, look. Here we go. What are we doing, people? And it's the same. It's the same for. And then this is really our coup de grace. Grifter Badrock. Because we have Chap Yap. If we look at the styles of production here, this is clearly a Extreme Studios book. This is clearly a Wildstorm book. And this is clearly a Dark Horse book. Okay? This is like the cool thing with crossovers. Because sometimes like you kind of split the sales, you donate your character, and another company will take care of the production. So we have to get into Grifter Badrock first, because Grifter She is legitimately about like 4 Tom Clancy novels in one. Grifter Mask just goes through the tropes and does it very well. It's a Las Vegas adventure, but we have this. Like we have to be honest. We're all really here for Grifter Badrock. But before we crack this open, let's go. No, Dark Hero is not available to back. We're just still taking sign-ups. We're making a call on launching it very soon. So we just gotta go through some of these. Grifter mashing up with the mask. Yes, dude. Can't wait. The colors in Wildstorm Fantastic Four are beautiful, and my personal color palette for my coloring work. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that Fantastic Four work is strong. Grifter is a huge draw, like my Gator boy Todd. Sometimes with dudes wearing a mask attitude, it makes it work. Yeah, I mean, look. Grifter is it's funny, because here's the funny thing. We have a few Grifter stories ever that are somewhat introduced with Cole Cash is always Cole Cash, and then he turns into Grifter. Like that's one of those really cool tropes. We have a nice like Rob Liefeld and Rob Liefeld knew, like, always understood how to launch a comic. Like, meaning, like, here's the comic, you're the audience, right? Like, let's get into it. Let's get dirty. This is all exposition flashback. Okay, Grifter narrating, but you know, we have a flash forward, or technically this is a flashback, because this story is a continuation of Badrock and Company issue 5 that featured Grifter. So we're in like the second part of this story already. The other funny thing is that we're kind of missing in issue 3, which I don't think was ever published. But in issue 3, we'll jump right into issue 2 now. These are very confusing. To be concluded. So I'm not really sure. I have to like try and figure that out. But Grifter Badrock 2 is flipped Badrock 2, where he teams up with Dragon. Grifter Badrock 1, flip side, is a full comic. Rob Liefeld has made many smart decisions when it comes to his career. I don't know. Not all of them make sense, though. I don't understand. Like, do we treat Grifter Badrock 1? Is it Badrock 1? And then we're at 2 here? Because I remember there might have been 2 issues where Badrock teams up with Dragon. I don't know. Okay, so we got the really, like, style-wise, like, everyone style-wise goes to Jay Lee, but it really is Chap Yap. Because his influences none of his influences are clear other than, like, his line work, which would be modern day 90s. Right? So, Grifter's at a bar, trying to have a drink. Badrock wearing MJ23, Chicago Bulls all the way. Finds him. He goes, I was looking for you. I found you. We got stuff to do. Grifter freaks out. Not even Grifter. Cole Cash freaks out. Drives Badrock away. He feels bad. He's like, I gotta talk to him. And then the Covenant of the Sword, which is the very cool villain that ran through all the Extreme books, crashes through, looking to kill everyone. And then, we have some amazing Chap Yap. There's a lot of turns on this book, meaning vertical spreads. Then we got a lot of horizontal spreads. So here we go. We got Chap Yap, right? Riffing on the great Jim Lee. Like, you kind of have to ask, who did it better? And here's the funny thing. I mean, you can kind of compare what the gun positions are, okay? Because I don't know. Chap Yap seems to correct some of Jim Lee's gun positions. So we get a Jim Lee riff, which is cool, right? Like, come on. Like, this is Extreme Studios, and this is Christian Lichtner. Okay, they had the best coloring in the 90s, and we can see a lot of the inking, right, enabled double lighting, but they really did these really strong highlights, strong shadowing. Everything popped. I mean, like, look at Grifter's hair, the way it goes from yellow to blue with the white shots of highlight. Insanely strong. Badrock is just like toasting everyone. Awesome pose here for Grifter. I mean, I love this body shot. I will say, even based on the Team Youngblood where Grifter fights Overkill, Chap Yap draws the best Badrock ever. And Badrock is Rob Liefeld's greatest creation. Sorry, Deadpool fans. But look at the mask. He knows how to draw the mask. I mean, look at the weight, the movement. Everything's on the back leg. And then we get something cool. So, like, this old dude And this woman's kidnapped now for a second time because she gets kidnapped in the previous Bad Rock and Company issue 5. How do you think there for a second? But this old guy here that kind of like recruits them, he jumps in later because we have this like the Covenant's like, we've calculated this. These guys are predictable. They're going to die. We know what they're going to do. And they have him on screen here. And the old dude is like a cyborg robot. I mean, I think he's a character. I know he's a character that's been in other Extreme books, and he's been in Bad Rock before. But really nice stuff here too. I mean, we have to admire the Haynes here. Okay, the Chap Yap Haynes got a little brain fart. So that's issue 1. And issue 2 is just, again, more action. Great dive here. I mean, really nice, like, gun drawing. Nice lighting here, like the purple. Like, we kind of know the old robot dude is blasting away. It's kind of like a fastball special here. Like, the old armor dude picks up Bad Rock and throws him. And then he just goes through everyone. And then, essentially, we have Cold Cash. One of the tropes with Cold Cash, and we saw this with Kindred, is that every girl he's reunited with later wants to be with him forever, and he always questions if he should be with her forever. Kind of cool. Like, it's good to have tropes, and then the girl has powers, and we have a cliffhanger. So, I said before how progressive the Wildstorm crossovers were. Fire from Heaven ended essentially the Wildstorm universe. Wildstorm Rising, solid crossover there. Supreme Madness is, you can say, one of 4 Extreme Studio crossovers. Spawn, Pit, Union, Stormwatch. Pretty cool crossover here. But yeah, Cyberpunks. I always like the looseness of this artwork here. This is all Liefeld. I always like the colors. The way that they did the hair, I'm so like mesmerized by the coloring for the hair here. Thunder Agents, never to come out. So again, Baptism of Fire, nice crossover between the 2 Young Blood books. So we have Baptism of Fire, Extreme Sacrifice, Extreme Destroyer, and Supreme Madness. Okay, 4 solid crossovers from the boys at Extreme. And then, like this book, that we kind of have to have a flip side, because Christian Lichtner he's on another level with his coloring here. He really is. The coloring is just phenomenal. But we got Liefeld like on the game, but not really. Not really. But this Bad Rock though is just classic. His greatest creation. I don't think Rob Liefeld owns the rights of Bad Rock any longer. R.I.P. So, before we get into Grifter Mask, we're just going to breeze through this. Grifter Sheep, because this was like an all hands on deck crossover. Jim Lee, Travis Charest, issue 2. Billy Tucci came in with some of the pencils. And then, who else? Ryan Benjamin, Travis Charest, Ryan Benjamin, Billy Tucci for issue 2. Issue 1. Wildstorm 2, they got into the habit of doing the credits at the end. Jim Lee, pages 1 through 10. Travis Charest, 11 through 26. Richard Bennett finishes 1 through 10. Troy Hubbs finishes 11 through 16. Colors, Joe Chida. So it's a good contrast of just going through the Extreme book and then going through the Wildstorm counterpart, okay? We have a level of exposition here. That's just fucking madness, people. Again, Cold Cash, not Grifter, comes in, kills, making his way. We have some deals happening. Ancient artifacts. Nuclear biological weapons. It's really hard to see any of the Jim Lee here. But then we know when we're hitting Travis Charest because his layouts were always just interesting, like wide open, but not. I think Travis's layouts are way more significant than his illustration work. But we we move the story along here. We have a lot of characters. We still have Cold Cash, no Grifter yet. Grifter pops in here, does a mission, does his job. Great pose here by Travis Charest. Yeah, and then we got Grifter versus She. That's what we're here for. A lot of talking, a lot of exposition. FYI, for the Playmates, TMNT, the Jim Lee TMNT, we have Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, the Leonardo figure. Never released. So we're going to open with Travis here. It's just nice that he does have a beauty. Grifter statue. People. Do I need to flex? Because check this out. Right here. Grifter statue. Right there. So, flex all you want, but come at me. This is a very complete story. It's a ton of fun. We have mysticism. Old bets are settled here. We actually have a thread for potential spin-offs. And then now we have Billy Tucci coming. I think pound for pound, the pages that Tucci worked on here, pound for pound, I think these are some of his best. Wildstorm Swimsuit, we are actively trying to track these down for Wildstorm Wednesday. But I really do feel like, Tucci's best, some of his best pages are in this. I mean, I can keep saying it. Or Joe Chido trading cards. Very interesting. We got these coming in. We'll be doing some packs. Very expensive, by the way. There's a little bit more of a flex there. So we got two tropes, right? Grifter needs to get into trouble. Someone needs to find a mask, and then the two of them are going to solve the problem. So we're in Vegas, which is really cool. Good for Grifter. We're not in Grifter, though. We're in cold cash mode. He owes money. He says bill it to Halo, which is the WildCATS. WildCATS are not disbanded yet. And then we got some bouncers working on Grifter. Grifter kind of cold cash. Makes a deal. Now he's Grifter. He's going to have to settle the score. Talking to some strippers again too, they really portray Grifter / cold cash. We got some really good. This is themes to go here too, everyone. We got good mask humor. We're building into someone needing to wear the mask, and we got cold cash kind of. He's got to do something, pay off his debts, and then at the end we have the revelation of the mask, and now we have the matchup we've been waiting for. Cold Cash, Grifter, and the mask. Ready to go. Now this is the Jim Carrey mask. It wasn't so much like this pre-movie, but the movie really changed the way how people saw the character or the gimmick. Mark Hamill, Black Pearl. This is also coming. So there's not much to say about wrapping this up other than it's got enough tropes. Grifter here with the giant gun. It's giving enough nods to Grifter's history and origin. This is just a really cool sequence here. They're just kind of going through Vegas, going through all the landmarks, wreaking havoc. Exactly what you would want to see. The drawing here and the illustration is just, who do we have here? Lucino Lima. This is like it's strong, and I believe it or not, I'll say it gets stronger by the page. Like very satisfying. Solid crossover. We have the mask doing like all his tropes, and at the end they knock down the Space Needle, and then like that's it, people. Like we're done. That's all she sung. Very cool. Like, so let's go through the years real quick. Grifter she is 96. That's got to be the last one, right? This is 96 too. So Grifter already has 2 crossovers in 1 year. Like, what is, like, you know, like, it's it's tough. 96 too. All of these are 96. So what can we double check what year Kindred was? Kindred. 94. First appearance. 92. So they let things burn for 2 years. Grifter kind of gets his one go, right? 95 he goes solo series. And then, like, do you think that his solo series became less interesting when he's crossing over 3 times in 1 calendar year while maintaining a monthly book? Fuck. That's just overexposure, man. Like, it's hard to kind of say otherwise, right? I think it's hard to say otherwise. But everyone, wow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Everyone, too. Like, again, make sure we follow the CG Metalsmith. Make sure we follow Ithky5 Total Excellence. Do that. The AKA Pad Army is growing. Thank you for all of your support. We're going to get out of here.